Okay, dear students, welcome to this class. So already in the last class we have started your second chapter, that is components of food. Yes, okay. So what we were regarding in the last page about main components of food. Understand? Components are which are called nutrients. Commonly they are called nutrients. Yes sir. See. These nutrients are mainly how many types? Carbohydrates, fats or lipids, proteins, vitamins and minerals. Yes sir? So these are commonly called as nutrients. Understand? So in the last class I clearly explained about the first main component of food, that is carbohydrate. And what are carbohydrates and which are the sources of this carbohydrate, and these carbohydrates are mainly present in our food in the form in the two forms. One is starch form or sugar form, and also you know that the sources of that starch and one sugar, and and also I explained about to test for this presence of carbohydrates in our food. What do you use? What do you use for the presence of starch in your food? You use what? Iodine solution. When you add the iodine solution to that food sample, if it turns to blue black color, that indicates what? Presence of starch in a food. Yes sir. In case of sugar, what do you use? Benedict solution. What? Benedict solution. So when you add the few drops of that Benedict solution to the food sample, it turns to some different colors: yellowish color, green color, and red color, brick red color. If it turns to brick red color, that indicates what? That contain high rich of that sugar. And it turns to which color? Yellow color. That indicates what? Medium rich in sugar. And if it turns to green color, that indicates what? That food particle, that food sample contain very low amount of sugar. So these are the tests for the to find out the presence of that starch and sugar in your food sample. Okay, let's see. So this is what you learned in the last class. Let's come here. I am coming with the second main food component, that means second main nutrient of food, that is fats. That is fats. See students, fats, these are also called lipids. Fats, these are also called lipids. Understand? See, these fats, they are made of fatty acids. They are made of fatty acids. Remember what I told in the last class in case of carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are specially made of three elements. Which are those? Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These carbohydrates are mainly made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. But in case of fats, these fats are made of fatty acids. Fats are made of fatty acids. Then see, what they use? Carbohydrates gives energy. Hence we call carbohydrates are also called energy producers. Similarly, these fats gives energy twice than the carbohydrates. They gives energy twice than the carbohydrates. Hence are called energy producers. Carbohydrates are also gives us energy, but fats are also gives us energy twice than the carbohydrate. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಟ್ವೈಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ ದಿ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ ಇಂದ ನಮಗೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತವೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಎರಡು ಪಟ್ಟು ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಲಿಪಿಡ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತವೆ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ನಿಮಗೆ 10 ಕಿಲೋ ಜೌಲ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಅದೇ ಲಿಪಿಡ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? 20 ಕಿಲೋ ಜೌಲ್ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಸಿ, these lipids that gives us energy twice than the carbohydrate. ಕಾರ್ಬೋಹೈಡ್ರೇಟ್ಗಳಿಗಿಂತಲೂ ಎರಡು ಪಟ್ಟು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಶಕ್ತಿಯನ್ನ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪಡ್ಕೋತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಲಿಪಿಡ್ಸ್ಗಳಿಂದ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತಾ? ಸೊ these are also gives us energy, hence they are called energy producers. ಇವು ಕೂಡ ನಮ್ಮ ಶಕ್ತಿಗೆ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ? ಶಕ್ತಿ ಕೊಡ್ತವೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇವುಗಳನ್ನ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಉತ್ಪಾದಕರು ಅಥವಾ ಎನರ್ಜಿ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸಿ, ದೇ ಕೀಪ್ ಬಾಡಿ ವಾರ್ಮ್. What they do, sir? they keep body warm. ಈ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ಗಳು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ಬೆಚ್ಚಗಿಡ್ತವೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಸ್ಕಿನ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕಿನ್ ಕೆಳಗಡೆ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೋರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅವೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತವೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬಾಡಿಯನ್ನು ಔಟರ್ ಟೆಂಪ್ರೇಚರಿಂದ ವಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿಡ್ತವೆ, ಬೆಚ್ಚಗಿಡ್ತವೆ. ಸೊ ಅದೇ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಇನ್ winter season, people they are eating what, only the food made of these fats, because in those days you have to keep your body warm. Understand? So to avoid the cold, to avoid that winter, understand, you have to keep your body very warm. Hence in those days, in the winter days, normally in our houses, they made only the food which is made of fats or lipids. Have that, eat that lipids and fats more in that winter season, so that keeps your body very warm. Understand? But don't eat excess fats or excess lipids. So provide that lipids or fats to your body in a required amount, but not in excess. ನಿಮ್ಮ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕೋ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಡ್ರಿ, ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಸಸ್ ಒಬೆಸಿಟಿ. ಮಿತಿ ಮೀರಿ ನೀವು ಎಣ್ಣೆ ಪದಾರ್ಥಗಳನ್ನು ತಿನ್ನೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಬೆಸಿಟಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮನುಷ್ಯ ದಪ್ಪ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ, ದಡುತಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಹೌದಾ, ಹೊಟ್ಟೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಾಪಟ್ಟೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಒಬೆಸಿಟಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸಿ, excess consumption of fats causes obesity. Clear? Okay. So then sir, how can we get these fats, how can we provide these fats to our body? So depending upon the octane, from where we obtain the fats. Understand? ನಾವು ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಪಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅದರ ಆಧಾರದ ಮೇಲೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಎರಡು ಟೈಪ್ಸ್, ಒಂದು animal fats, second plant fats. So the fats which obtained from animals, they are animal fats. The fats which are obtained from plant, that is plant fats. Okay, see the best examples are there. Animal fats example, milk, ghee and butter. Understand? So from this milk we get ghee and butter. Yes or no? So this ghee and butter, best examples for this animal fat. Understand? Then the fats or lipids which obtained from the plant, they are called plant fats. Best example, vegetable oils. Which are those vegetables oils, or you can say it's an edible oil you are using daily in your kitchen for making food. Which oil? Groundnut oil, sunflower oil, mustard oil, coconut oil, soybean oil. Like this, these are all called vegetable oils. So these oils which are extracted from the seeds of a plant. Hence these vegetable oils or edible oils, they are considered as plant fats. Understand? Ghee and butter which is extracted from milk, we get a milk from animals, not from plants. Hence they are considered as animal fats. Understand? So fats are made up of fatty acids. Understand? They also give us energy twice than the carbohydrate, and these fats keeps body very warm. But last point is there, provide fats or lipids in a required amount to your body. Don't eat excess fats. That excess fat stored in our body and it causes what? Obesity. The excess consumption of fats causes obesity, and depend upon the source. Understand? From which we get fats or lipids. Based on that, fats are classified into two types: animal fats and plant fats. The plants which are obtained from animal, they are animal fats, and the fats which are obtained from plant are called plant fats. So what you obtain from animal? Ghee and butter. From milk you get a ghee and butter. Where does it come from? Milk. From animal. Yes sir. Then vegetable oils, from where they come? From seeds of plants. Hence they are considered as plant fats. Understand? Vegetable oil, sunflower oil, groundnut oil, mustard oil, coconut oil, soybean oil, all these kinds of oils which we are using in our daily life for our cooking. Yes or no? Hence, these oils and your ghee and butter, they provide fats to our body. They provide lipids to our body. So just provide the lipids or fats in a required amount, but don't eat excess fats or excess lipids. What it causes? Obesity. So very so disease is there. Which disease is there? Bad disease. It's very bad disease. Understand? So it comes by eating more excess amount of this fats or lipids. Clear or not? So this is about your second nutrient of food, that is fats or lipids. Then there is simple test is there. Understand? To identify the presence of this lipids or fats in your food sample. Very simple activity is there. It does not need any solution. In case of carbohydrate, to test the presence of starch or sugar, you need what? Iodine solution, and you need a Benedict solution. But in case of these fats, you doesn't need any solution. You just need a food sample and piece of paper. You just need a food sample and piece of paper. Take a food sample and put it in a paper piece and just rub it. And just rub it. If the paper becomes oily and if the paper becomes translucent, so this oily or translucent of this paper, that indicates what? Presence of fats or oils in your food. ಬಹಳ ಈಸಿ ಇದೆ ರೀ. ಒಂದು ಫುಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೋರಿ, ಪೇಪರ್ ಪೀಸಲ್ಲಿ ಜೋರಾಗಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ರಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ, ಪೇಪರು ಆಯಿಲಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಥವಾ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೂಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೂಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಿತ ಪಾರದರ್ಶಕ ಮಬ್ಬ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. ಆ ಪೇಪರ್ ಆ ಥರ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಲೂಸೆಂಟ್ ಆಯಿತು ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ? ಇದು ಆ ಫುಡ್ ಸ್ಯಾಂಪಲಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಲಿಪಿಡ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಸೂಚಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಮೇನ್ ನ್ಯೂಟ್ರಿಯೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫುಡ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫ್ಯಾಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲಿಪಿಡ್ಸ್. ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಆರ್ ನಾಟ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್? Okay, let's come to the next nutrient. Third main important nutrient of food, that is proteins. Let's see. So already you know about carbohydrates and lipids. Both gives us energy to our body, hence they are called energy producers. Let's come in what about proteins. Proteins are made up of amino acids. Proteins are made up of amino acids. So what are these amino acids, sir? We will learn more about these amino acids in your higher classes. Let's now proteins are made of amino acids, and what they do, they help in building new cells and repairing worn out cells. They help in building new cells and repairing worn out cells. Worn out cells ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳು ವರ್ನ್ ಔಟ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತವೆ, ಗಾಯ ಆಗಿ ಏನೋ ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತವೆ. ಆ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯೂ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಇದು. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನೀವು ಆಟ ಆಡ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಿದ್ದಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಗಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತೀರಿ, ಚರ್ಮ ಹೋಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದಿಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಚರ್ಮ ಮತ್ತೆ ಬೆಳೆದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಭಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅಂದರೆ ವರ್ನೌಟ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನ್ಯೂ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೊಸ ಜೀವಕೋಶಗಳು ಬೆಳೆದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿರ್ತವೆ. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಯ್ತಾ? ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್. So these proteins, they help in building new cells and repairing worn out cells. And finally, these proteins helps in the body building. They helps in the body building. Hence, proteins are called body builders. They are called body builders. Remember, proteins are called body builders. Carbohydrates and lipids are called energy producers, but proteins are called body builders. Yes or no? See, these proteins are made of amino acids. They help in building of new cells and repairing worn out cells. Understand? They repair our body. Hence proteins are very essential in our food. They help in body building. Body building means for the growth. Understand? So growth is mainly depends upon proteins. How much amount of proteins you provide to your body will show growth. That amount of growth. Understand? See. So they help in bodybuilding, hence they are called bodybuilders. And let's come types. Depend upon the source from which we get the proteins. So depend upon that source, these proteins are classified as animal proteins and plant proteins. Animal proteins and plant proteins. So and the sources are there. From which food you get proteins? See the sources of animal proteins: meat, fish, egg, and milk. Understand? So all these are animal sources of proteins. Animal sources of proteins: meat, fish, egg, and milk. So by eating any of this, you can eat fish, egg, or milk, or you can use a meat. So by eating any one of this food, you can provide lot amount of proteins to your body. Clear or no? So these are sources of animal proteins. Let's come. Plant proteins are there. Which are those? Pulses. Pulses. Let's groundnut. Understand? Okay. See, soya beans and grams. So total is sprouted grains. Even you can eat a sprouted grains. ಮೊಳಕೆ ಹೊಡೆದ ಬೀಜಗಳಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಕಾಳುಗಳು. ಸೊ ಒಟ್ಟಾರೆ ದ್ವಿದಳ ಧಾನ್ಯಗಳು, ಈ ಕಾಳುಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ obtained from plant, hence they are called plant proteins. Understand students? Let's see one example. I think you might hear the hemoglobin word. What it is? Hemoglobin. It is also protein. Where it is present, you know? It is present in our blood. Your blood, right color blood. Your body has a blood. Yes or no? So that blood contains a protein that is hemoglobin. We say this hemoglobin, this is a pigment. It is present in RBC, red blood cells. So this hemoglobin that gives you red color to the blood. So what we call this as a pigment? This pigment is nothing but protein. Hemoglobin is also protein. And another one is the albumin. Albumin. It is another kind of protein, albumin. It is mainly present in our egg. Understand? Egg. The white part of that egg that mainly contain the protein, albumin. And you know, your hair is also specially made up of a protein that is keratin. What it is? Keratin. Your hairs and your nails, these are also made up of special protein, that is what? Keratin. See, so these are some examples for these proteins. Understand? So totally take any kind of protein. The main function of this protein is they help in the building of new cells and repairing worn out cells, and they help in the bodybuilding, hence they are called bodybuilders. Understand? Two sources are there of proteins: animal proteins and plant proteins. Sources of animal proteins are mainly meat, fish, egg, and milk. And plant sources of proteins are called pulses, soya beans, and grams. Okay, dear friends. So this is about proteins. Third main important nutrient of this protein is protein. In the next classes, we will discuss about last kind of protein, that is vitamins and minerals. What? Vitamins and minerals is there, and test also is there. Test of this protein, I will explain that test of protein in a next class. Okay, I will come with the next component of food, that is vitamin. Okay, we will explain detail in a next classes. Okay, what we are learned today? Two main components of food. Second one is fats or lipid, and third one is proteins. Clear or not? Okay. So in next classes, we will explain the third main component of food, that is the fourth main component, that is what? Vitamins and minerals. Okay. Thank you for watching this class.